Hello out there, world. It is I, Average Zen. You have found Average Zen Presents, and we are together in this thing called life. Yes. Otherwise, how could you hear me? Yeah. We're here again on an Achievement Hunter's Lodge, special edition Thursday, streaming live to you on Twitch as we do 10 to 12 Central European time. You know, it's a living. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, of course, we're live on Twitch 11 to 1 Central European time. Got content coming out to you 6 days a week at least, sometimes twice a day on YouTube, including our original series, Explain It Like I'm 7. Had a new episode go up yesterday. Double feature, in fact. Average Kid is picking up the game quite quickly. We knocked out back-to-back AI opponents. Looking forward to our challenge next week up against a human opponent. So if you're interested in learning this wonderful game, Magic the Gathering on Arena, make sure to check that out. It's a step-by-step process, easy to digest. If my 7-year-old can do it, so can you, I promise. Yeah, so what? Obligatory plugs out of the way. One last one. The bars, they're filling up. That means the rewards are almost unlocked for our first giveaway, our MtG Ether Drift Booster Play Box. We got 2 of them. Yep, if you're just finding out about this, well, please give us a like, subscribe, follow, and you will be eligible. All you got to do is hit that gleam.io link. You'll find that popping up in chat if you're in here chatting with us on Twitch. Our About section on Twitch, our About section on YouTube. I'll put the links there when you bring it up. And you can also find us on social media at Average Zen on Twitter/X, and we've recently joined Blue Sky as well under the same handle, Average Zen, and of course at Average Zen on YouTube. Yes, without further ado, let's jump into it and let's see what we can hunt down today in our achievements. First off, a little bullpen. See what we got this week. Since last episode, we did finally manage to reroll a 500 gold quest into a 750 gold daily quest. Nothing but RNG. You can't do anything else about that. Oh, look at that. We got a partying ghost. Yep, sure, we'll clip that. How about that? I like my cool shades ghost that I also got. All right, well, that's going to cut it for that. Let's look at MtG Arena formats. We've been playing a little bit of Standard, and of course, we finished up the midweek Magic event this past week, so that gets us Vanquish the Week and Standard Mage. Nice deck. Think I'll take it. Yep. Alright, and Advanced Achievements. Keyword soup. Yeah, we'll talk about that one in depth here in a moment. And Mill-licious. Yeah, so keyword soup. Attack with a creature that is flying, vigilance, trample, lifelink, and haste. I can tell you, we got that recently with our Moo Yanling driving Moo Crazy Brawl deck when we made the Mech Titan. Yes, that was a wonderful moment. I was very happy. There's multiple ways we can get that, though. We'll go over that in a moment. And of course, Mill-licious. Have an opponent lose a game by drawing from an empty library. So let's talk about this. Keyword soup. How would I go about getting this one easily without having to assemble the Mech Titan? Number 1, Akroma's Memorial. That's going to give your creatures flying, first strike, vigilance, trample, haste, and protection from black and from red. Easily done. So that'll give all your creatures those necessary stats. So let's talk about Mill-licious. Well, funnily enough, there's a ton of mill strategies going on right now. The easiest way to do this would be in limited. A 40-card format, obviously easier to mill than a 60-card format, and obviously easier than a 100-card format. Yeah, less cards, less mill required. As a matter of fact, I actually got that particular achievement in limited mill. So yeah, if you're in to limited, which you should be, it's a great way to get cards that you want without the RNGs playing as much of a factor. Yeah, Riverturn Monument. It's actually being played in standard right now as well. There's also, well, we'll get into other methods in a moment. That's a good one. So any number of target players each mill cards equal to the number of cards in their graveyard. And it says tap 1. That's the exhaust ability, so of course you can only use that once unless you have multiple copies. Then, you know, there you go. Ether Siphon. If you get up to max speed, whenever you draw a card, each opponent mills 2 cards. I got the achievement just using Ether Siphon. It being an uncommon, you're more likely to get it. So if you find yourself in blue and you find yourself drawing a lot of cards in Ether Drift Limited, good spot to be in. So how would we construct a deck that we might play against Sparky in a controlled setting to try to achieve this, should you want to go that route? Well, let's talk about it. First off, Mill is your friend. Fair enough. There we go. And that's how I would run it in order to easily beat Sparky and get that achievement. Thanks to a few of our supporters for double checking our theory there that you could get most of these achievements playing Sparky. Color Masteries. Well, blue. At instant speed, cast 250 spells on an opponent's turn over any number of games. Well, that's pretty self-explanatory. They're classified under blue, okay, but we all know there's instant speeds spells in every color. The Color Mastery Black, Expendable Minions, sacrifice 100 creatures over any number of games. Well, let's talk about that. In fact, there's one deck we already have put together that we've used to get infinite life gain that would fit the bill here because it also generates infinite tokens, which you can sacrifice. So let's go to Historic. And once again, we'll go over our Brood Skilliad game plan and show you how this works. So if you missed it last time, we've got a few key cards here that are going to interact with one another, and that will give us an endless loop of fun. In fact, let's take a look. How about... Where are you? Innkeeper's Talent also does the same thing there. Alright, cool. So, let's talk about it. Soul Warden. Yep, whenever another creature enters, you gain 1 life. You could easily replace that, I guess, with a Guide of Souls or any other 1-drop with and then we get the Basking Brood scale. Whenever 1 or more +1/+1 counters are put on this creature, you may create an 0/1 colorless Eldrazi spawn creature token with sacrifice this token at a colorless mana. Alright. And then we have also in the 2-drop Monoskillion, so an instant speed access to get to use those tokens. Now, so what we've got going on is the token will, whenever we play a creature, it will trigger Heliod, which says, and whenever you gain life, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature or enchantment you control. And then, so we have a creature come into play. Whenever you gain life, also Archangel of Thune also does the same thing, kind of fulfills the same role there. Whenever you gain life, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Alright. Or we can have Innkeeper's Talent that has the level 3 ability. If you would put 1 more counters on a permanent player, put twice that many. Or we could have Doubling Season, same effect. So essentially what we want to do is be having a Soul Warden in play, play a creature that will trigger Heliod, or having Keeper's Talent in play with a level 3 that would give double counters. Any way to get a counter on Basking Brood scale. and that will set off the chain. Even if you only have the one green and colorless, if you adapt it, you will put a +1/+1 counter on it. That will trigger a Basking Brood Scale to make a token. That'll trigger Heliod because of Soul Warden. And there you go. And so what you're going to end up doing is putting all these counters on here, making a token. You can then, if you're making 2 tokens, you can then sacrifice one of those tokens to remove a +1/+1 counter from this creature, Monoskelion, and deal another damage to another token. So you can do that, or you can just sacrifice them for no reason after you've made, you don't even have to have an outlet because you can sacrifice them for no reason. So forget I said anything about Monoskelion. That's if you actually want to win the game. If you don't want to win the game and you're just getting the achievement, then yeah, just make all those tokens, sacrifice it, and you'll get it. Easily done. Let's look at Color Mastery Red. Cast 100 cards from exile over any number of games. Impulsive. Alright, well, let's talk about it. Philia. 1, 2, 3, 4. Showdown of the Skulls. Exile the top 4 cards of your library until the end of turn. You may play those cards. At the end of your next turn. Alright, so what we can do is play it up against, again, Sparky to try to get this achievement. There we go, Griff's Boon, and that will give Philia flying, so the only time you should really be unable to attack in, for some reason, would be up against Sparky's blue or black deck, which has some flyers in it, for which you could use the Static Prison to lock them down, and then continually flip Showdown of the Scalds whenever Philia attacks, because Philia says exile up to 1 target non-land permanent. At the beginning of the next end step, return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control, and then you put a +1/+1 counter on it, and that will allow you to continually re-trigger Showdown of the Scalds. Yorion, we're already in white, and then you could blink that with Philia, and that would allow you to blink any number of Showdown of the Scalds. Yeah, just a thought. Let's take a look and see what we can go after today. What is going to be our target? A terrible thing to waste. Have opponents discard 120 cards over any number of games. I feel bad that we're so close to that. Dies to Doomblade. Destroy 250 creatures. Oh, they're memeing. I see. Destroy 250 creatures you don't control over any number of games. So close. All removal. All discard. Cut down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go for the throat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Liliana. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bandit's Talent. 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess we could go Duress. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, Tiny Bones joins up. Sure, yes. We'll do that. How about Momentum Breaker? You know what? Let's do Momentum Breaker times 4. That'll double us up on killing stuff as well. I think we can more easily set this up if we can force our opponent to actually draw cards. And we can do that. And we shall do that. We're in standard, timeless, no. Alright. Cut out the Lilianas. Go Howling Mine. Folio Fancies. Each player draws X cards. There we go. Okay, let's include the Liliana now, because actually we're going to want. And then we'll go down the Burglar Rats. There it is. Fairy Mastermind. Dictate O Krufix. We don't need so much of the discard anymore, actually. So actually what we want more is removal. But making them draw more cards will also help with that. So let's talk about more removal. No need for the Duresses with that. Tiny Bones joins up now, and no need for that. No need for the Bobble Burglar. We'll get them on probably with the Bandit's Talent and Liliana for the discard to chalk that off. So let's call all the rest removal. Doom Blade, yes. Let's go with a Damnation. Let's go with what is it? Fatal Push. 1, 2, 3, 4. And Blood Chief's Thirst. Sure, I guess it doesn't matter. You're already dead. Alright, that should work. Except we don't have any blue mana. Whoops. Okay, hold on a second. I think this will definitely get us there against Sparky. No, actually, they get milled out. Okay, we win. So that's another way to get the Mill-licious achievement. Let's see if we also got our body count up high enough to get the Dies to Doomblade achievement on that one. We got a terrible thing to waste. Easily done. And Dies to Doomblade. Hunt complete. Very, very nice. Alright, so now we can set our sights on something else. Look at us go. No takebacks. Sacrifice a permanent you don't own. Okay, we can do that easily. We can do that easily. Each player draws a card. Okay, there we go. And a guy who reads Sanitarium. Alright, perfect. Friendly Teddy is here to rescue us from the doldrums of fighting with Sparky. Alright then. Well, let's sacrifice there. We don't want to draw any more cards. Alright, the kiddies win it. Well, let's see if our particular setup got us there. Did we get there? Oh, come on. Are you serious? Sacrifice a permanent you don't own. No takebacks. I guess that was not okay, we learned something. We learned something. You cannot get that one up against Sparky. Well, we learned some things. How about that? That's what this show's all about. We learned that you cannot get no takebacks with Sparky. How inconsistent. It doesn't mention anything about matchmaking in a matchmaking game. Would like a little clue there. Wizards, you know. That would have been cool. At any rate, that's going to do it for us in this episode of Achievement Hunter's Lodge. And yeah, I hope you had a good time. Hope you learned something like us. And if not, then let us know in the comments, you know, what you would like to see next time. What achievements you want us to go after, or what ones you've been struggling with yourself. As always, love one another, be cool, don't be a jerk, and have fun playing Magic the Gathering. We'll see you next time.